What's up guys, it's Ben from BWC Fab. Today we're going to go over the installation of the ATS calipers and SCI rotors for your Subaru utilizing the BWC bracket kit with inserts. As soon as you get your calipers in, the first thing you want to do before you powder coat them or paint them is you want to replace these bushings with the provided ones in the BWC Fab kit. To facilitate the installation process, I'm just going to use standard hand tools that are found in pretty much every toolbox. For my personal vehicle, I use a shop press. You can also use a ball joint press, but today we're just going to use a bolt and a hammer just to show you that it can be done easily. The thread for the factory ATS caliper is a M14 with a 2/0 thread. So you just want to thread the bolt in on each one. Make sure you capture all the threads to reduce the chance of stripping. But you just pop them right out. And for the installation of the BWC Fab bushings inserts, just slip them in place. It's best to have a piece of wood up underneath, but being that I'm at work, I'm sort of kind of limited on my supply. But you just want to get them started. Try to get them tapped in as much as you can and see if you can start threading through. Once you get enough to where you can get a nut on the backside, you would want to take your nut, use a washer. It's going to be a 16 mil wrench, and the other nut is going to be a 19 mil. It's fairly simple to do it by hand, but just to make the video a little bit quicker, I chose to use cordless impact. I tap it in. Try to make sure you get it in there a little straight. This one's fairly crooked. Like I said, it's easier if you have a shop press you can utilize, but once you have the inserts installed, the next thing you want to do is get your spindle and hub. Make sure you have all this cleaned off. Get all the residual rust off just to minimize any type of lateral runout that you might receive. The best way to fit this without having to cut your factory dust shield is just to remove the dust shield in general. At the top corner, if you do want to keep it, maintain it, you would have to remove roughly a 2-inch wedge section off the top corner. Next, you want to install the BWC Fab bracket. Slide your lower bolt in. With the kit, I provided locking flange nuts, but for this video, I'm just going to use a standard nut for the install. Install your rotor spacer. Slide the rotor in place. Just using these washers and nuts just to hold the rotor. Then you want to slide your caliper in place. You want to use the remaining 2 supplied bolts for this task. Once you have these 2 bolts hand threaded in, you can go ahead and torque them down to OE specifications. Then you want to slide your brake pads in. After you slide your brake pads in, you want to slide your guide pins through. Slide 1. Install the spring. You want to push down with some pressure. You want to repeat the pin process for the other side. And all you have to do is tap both of these to seat them through, and that'll lock your pins into place. After you get this part done, you can go ahead and install your brake line. You can use the OE brake line, but it's highly recommended to upgrade to stainless steel. And once this whole procedure is done, you can repeat the same thing for the other side. That concludes today's installation. If you have any questions in regards to the BWC Fabrications ATS Caliper bracket kit or the 6-pot caliper bracket kit, feel free to email me at bwcfab@gmail.com.